MJ or LeBron.
Yeah,
Malcolm or Martin. Muhammad Ali or Joe Frazier. And we just fail to accept, no, it's all excellence. It's all great.
It's all great.
It's all good stuff.
Yeah. Especially the stuff that happened already. Like, why,
Right.
why are we doing this? Like,
right.
Like we get these memes now, and I hate the fact that our lives are run by memes, and people's emotions are being taunted and
stuff
and tugged on.
Buttons are pushed.
Yeah. One has to go.
Podcast. What up? It's your boy Chad O. Out here in LA. Trying to get lost in the subway. Thank you, Valencia, but I'm about to head on the train heading to Madrid. I'm telling about Two Boys Podcast on 13 Ghost TV. Like, subscribe, and send us a few messages. I don't hablo mucho español, but I'm doing the best I can.
That's a theme from some old 1970s.
Mission Impossible. No, not Mission. Not Hawaii Five-0. Not
1 Adam 12. No, 1 Adam 12 had the it's at 1 Adam 12.
Yeah,
the thing. Emergency.
Could
Remember
be.
the show Emergency?
I remember the show Emergency. It was kind of like a Patrick Swayze kind of guy in there, like a
like one was, and those characters like all the same. Like there was one
hunk.
One womanizing hunk, and there was one sensitive dude who was a little bit smarter, and you know, and
just like most sitcoms always had to have a blonde guy and a brunette guy, like Dukes of Hazzard.
Yes.
Every one of them always had one.
Yes, that's what they call diversity.
Yeah,
one is blonde, one is a brunette.
There's always a Tom Wopat there. Yeah, left, right.
That's a little bit better than headphones.
Yeah. Give it a little depth.
Ooh.
You know why? Because and if you just woke up, you're joining us, Two Bros Podcast, episode 120.
God
damn it,
constipated.
After and for those of you who have not catched 119, we had a fantastic time with the brothers from the Black and Brown podcast.
Yes,
thank you for putting that together. And after listening to the audio, the Plugs audio was amazing.
Yes.
And so I was like sitting here, I was like, we got shit. We can fucking turn it up a little bit. We can get some girth, some gain, and some nice clarity in our speaking.
Yeah.
And so I was fucking around with all these knobs, and sometimes you get it to a point and you just go,
and you just leave it, right? And you just leave it, and you don't think that there could be any thing you can adjust.
Yeah, good enough for me.
Right.
Good enough for me. So how are you, sir?
I'm doing quite well.
Yeah.
Once again, thank you for coming out.
Hey, man.
Yesterday.
This good timing. It worked out great. A lot of product to move, but hey, we got it done.
Got it done.
This is where you find out where your friends are, who picks up the phone.
Yeah.
Hey, I need some help. I got my Aunt May coming over, and somebody's doing something else. And always tough. It
is always tough. It is. It's funny when I first started going out with my wife, when we first started dating, and then when we were going to move in together, the question became, okay, well, we got to get your stuff from your place and my stuff from the little piece of shit hovel that I had, and we go into our apartment.
Join.
And she was like, yeah, we got to hire a moving truck and stuff like that. And I was like, no, you don't. You call people. You call friends.
Yeah.
You call friends. And she says, you don't ask your friends to help you move. And I'm like, well, what the hell are they friends for?
Friends.
That's what friends do. That's like part of, if you're a friend, that's like on the list.
Yeah.
That's like on the application.
May get called to
help move. May get called to take me to the airport.
Yeah. But you know what? Those are those kind of moments you'll have, and they're friendly moments. They're and I say this to say, I'm glad you said the word friends. There's a whole culture of people who, if they see it on Friends, they that's what people do. It's great. Oh, we'll do it. Oh, you remember like the episode 50 when Jim helped him move? Oh, okay, I guess we can help you. So yeah, glad you got it all done. Did your second delivery come? You had something else coming later?
Yes, the table. Table.
Okay,
table. A nice, beautiful table.
Wow.
My wife has named the style that we're going to decorate in as farmhouse chic.
Farmhouse chic. Wow.
Yes.
Okay. How'd you get that?
I don't know.
Okay.
So every time I come back to the house, there's those home decorating shows. So there's renovating shows.
They can be addicting.
Love it. Love it or lose it.
Yeah.
Or something like that. And
just like the food shows, they can be very addictive. Like
yes.
You keep watching these things and, guys, where do you get this to stuff into the fish? And I don't know, like the byproducts, you're going to just glaze over the fact that you had Cameron seeds or, some cardamom seeds laying around.
Some shit that I'd never heard before, but they're in here.
Yeah.
Yes. And it's clean. And it's all clean.
Funny
and your pots and pans are always clean.
Oh, man. I just bought a black kettle pot, a black cast iron pot.
A Dutch oven?
A cast iron skillet.
Okay. Skillet.
12-inch cast iron skillet. Which
pre-seasoned?
I seasoned it myself. It was pre-seasoned, but I seasoned it again just to make sure, and let it bake, and kind of did my own thing. Cooked some salmon in it. I did a pan-seared salmon, hit it, threw it in the oven, came out perfect.
Nice.
My wife also, she said, "Oh, I didn't know you were going to buy one. I bought one." Just random. And she bought one, but she bought a smaller one. So I was going to buy a set, but we have so much fucking dishes up there. So I was like, I'm not doing that. This is way too much. So oddly enough, she bought the smaller one because she had the inclination to make a cornbread, in a pan, which she made last night. And it came out fantastic. Yeah.
Cast iron skillet. We got an old cast iron skillet that's not gonna make the move. It's
had its days.
It's had its days. It's actually newer, but it's actually wasn't the better quality. We could have gotten something that a little bit better quality. Because we got a cast iron, but we also got the one that has the
crust on
the enamel coating on the outside of it. And it's cast iron on the inside, and so it's not as I don't know, it's not as true cast iron.
I got you. Years ago, obviously way years ago, mom beat the shit out of me because I cleaned the cast iron pot she had, and I thought I was helping. I had a chisel, and I chiseled off all the seasoning around it. It was just, and she was like, "You fucking moron! What are you doing?"
Yes,
and mind you, I had all the pieces laying all over
flakes
the floor
all over.
I was like, "Oh, it's coming off! Look at it!"
So you have momentum.
I have momentum.
Some confidence now.
I thought I was doing a good thing, and she was like, "You asshole! That's how you keep the heat. It stays together. It keeps it consistent. Yeah, get out." And I don't know if she beat me. I think she just kind of chastised me a little bit and got a little under the skin there.
That's always upsetting when you think you've done something really good, and it turns out you do something really bad.
That's when you call it damned if you do, damned if you don't.
That's right. Then you go, "Oh, all right." And then that thing in your head goes off and says, "Hey, told you not to do anything."
Well, yeah.
It's that evil and that good person talking to one another. And the evil person says, "See, I told you. See, don't do shit. Yeah. Just stay in the house."
I think that's what the kids do. My son does it wrong so that I don't call him to do it again. Like he fucks it up.
You think he does it on purpose?
Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
You think he fucks stuff up on purpose?
He's super lazy.
This is a good way so that I know this will be the last time I'm doing this shit.
I think he does it they have this thing here in the house, and it bugs me the hell out, and I hate it. Oh, you do it better. You put out garbage better than us. How is that possible? How is it possible? Put out garbage better?
There's not levels to putting out garbage.
I said, there's no shame in putting out garbage. Just put it out. Half bag, full, 3. What? There's 1,000 bags in my drawer. I buy the garbage bags because I never want to run out of them. And I'm like, there'll always be bags here. Trust me. Trust me. If I have to make a choice between a bottle and a garbage bags, I'll make sure we have garbage bags. Trust me. I'll make sure we have garbage bags. Throw the fucking things out. Boy, oh boy. But I was sorry. I was getting when you said farm table chic.
Farmhouse chic.
Farmhouse chic.
Farmhouse chic is the style that she's going for.
Wow. So, we've pre-COVID, of course, when parties and invitations would come around, and we would always get these invitations for parties that were summer chic, dress summer chic.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that?
I don't know what that means.
So do I say it? This is summer chic. I mean,
yeah, like what? Yeah, exactly. Like what is? And if you're not summer chic, are you gonna get kicked out?
Right. I mean, it's so opinionated. It feels like it's like this is what I think summer chic is.
Yeah.
I just didn't know what that mean and why you would put it on an invitation.
That's
ambiguous.
I don't know why we do stuff like that. I don't know why. I mean, you see like people who are, I don't know, a little bit wealthier, got a little bit of extra coin. They make these theme parties, and this is River on the Nile night, and stuff like that. So you got to dress like you were on the Nile River, and or something like this is Egyptian folklore night.
What? Egyptian? I mean, it's not a thing for real, is it?
I don't know. I've seen stuff like that though. But people like have themed parties where what's the theme? So the theme is this is the 25th anniversary hee haw, and shit like that. So and then you dress up like characters. I mean, I guess it's no different than in many ways a Halloween party, but at least
costume party.
Yeah, I mean,
masquerade.
I love a Halloween party.
Yeah.
Everything else, I think is like a kind of crappy thing.
Themed, I guess. Themed.
A lot of people have black and white parties, I guess.
Yes. We've done black and gold parties. We've been to a black and gold. We've been to what was some of the other ones? Mardi Gras, is the best one. The Mardi Gras theme. In fact, our last Christmas party was a Mardi Gras theme, and a Mardi Gras themed Christmas party, which we totally like, and people were like, "Huh?
Yeah, like, what is it?
What?" And when they got there, they were like, "Holy shit, this is pretty fucking dope!" Because we had the beads, we had thousands of beads. We basically sent out a message to everybody, an instant message to everybody saying, if you have any leftover trinkets from any of your trips or your travels or whatever else, and you want to get rid of, bring it. And we couldn't believe the stuff we got. Like there were beads, people had shot glasses on. It was like, this thing meant nothing to me. I'll bring it to the party. And we dressed the tables up. We put all kinds of stuff. And we bought one kit, I think from Oriental Trading or something like that, where they give you the hats and the masks and people run around. Yeah. Oddly enough, it was the last party before we lost Tommy Allen. And then COVID just rolled off.
Yeah.
And these were a bunch of people that obviously had pre-existing conditions, probably. And that's what, that's, I guess, the new world we're in.
The land before COVID.
The land before COVID.
The land before COVID.
Will we ever get back?
No.
So I mentioned yesterday during the move, I had the pleasure of watching some great films or some great shows, which I thought were great. These are much my opinions. Of course, you all can go F yourself.
Well, you're a binger. You pick a couple nights and you go do your thing and you get a few shows in.
Yeah. Listen, now that sports is kind of like, it's evening out and kind of like, okay, but when the games are on that you don't want to see, it's like, all right, we're Knicks fans. Dreadfully, we'll watch it, and then all right, we
give the Knicks too much.
Well, we need a movie to relieve that.
Gotcha.
We don't get the satiation from a win, so we'll need to go watch.
So we need to go watch something else.
Yeah, and so we had the pleasure of binge watching Servant. It is a M. Night Shyamalan series, which I never knew he had. And by the way, it's on season 2. Just started.
Really?
Season 2 just started Friday. Okay. We did not know. We happened to see a commercial for Apple TV and Servant. And I was like, M. Night Shyamalan has a series? I gotta see this.
I like M. Night Shyamalan. Didn't like that last one he did. Didn't like The Village, but
okay. I got you.
And the others I liked.
I liked it too. I liked The Village only when after you kind of like dissect it a little bit. I like the figuring things out,
Yes.
Like what do you mean by this?
Right. What pissed me off about, and I don't want to take you too far away from
but you're on the same thing where I know what you're gonna say.
What pissed me off about The Village was when you realize the truth of what was going on, it seemed so unfucking plausible that nobody figured that shit out. It's not like they were like miles away from something. The fucking highway was like there, right? It's
You can live,
right.
You can look
like,
up and go, hey,
exactly.
there's people there.
That's like going from here to Sunrise Highway, which is like what, 3 minutes away?
And you just live in your
And
own
you're
little
behind the edge of the museum,
bubble.
which was like walking distance.
I know.
So
I know. It's weird.
for generations, none of y'all figured this shit out. Like none of y'all went for a walk and said, "What is that sound? What is it?" Or actually, they like played it up because when you would hear the sound, they would think it was something coming.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
When you would hear the semis rolling through and
it's
so that's what pissed me off about that. It's like, damn, like couldn't we? I mean, I was buying it until that.
Yeah.
And then I can't believe any of this shit you just showed me now.
I know, true. He does do that. He takes you on these little weird journeys,
Mhm.
and you have to commit to go down the rabbit hole.
You got to be willing to do it. You gotta be willing to do it.
Yeah.
And he's like, look, I'll connect the dots later. Just walk. Just
Yeah.
keep walking. Just keep going.
Yeah. And once you get too far, it's like Harold and Kumar. Like we're
here.
We've gone too far back.
We're here. We can't
turn back now. That's why, like Cal Penny, he goes down the hallway. He was like, "Fuck it, we came too far.
We came too far.
We got to keep going. We got to go through this mission." But yeah, I started to say, and by the way, Antebellum with Janelle Monáe.
Yes, tell me.
Is exact same premise of The Village.
Really?
Exactly.
I watched like 20 minutes and I put it away.
The end is the same.
Ugh.
You mean we could have just walked here and this was over?
Ugh.
Same thing. Spoiler alert, but it's been out a long time.
It's been out a while.
It's been out a while. There's no spoiler alerts here. So getting back to The Servant, which again is a rabbit hole.
Mm-hmm.
You got to go down the road of the rabbit hole. And again, of course, I don't know the name of the actors, but anyway, it's a good series.
Okay.
It's got legs.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of grows on you, and it's a lot of WTFs. It's a lot of what the fuck? What was that?
Okay.
You know, it's like, did you see that, or am I just
am I just going crazy?
It's a lot of that. And now season 2 just came on Friday. We caught that one, and it's still going. Is
it like, does it have an ending? Like, so when season 1 ended, did it answer some questions, or did it just
no?
Okay.
No, I had to go watch the YouTube version of the figure it out kind of theory, and then season 2 picked up exactly where it left off.
Okay.
Which would be painful, because if you went through the duration of watching it, like I was able to binge watch it, so I got the consistent flow. I would hate this, and now I'm mad because season 2 is here, and I can't wait for next week, and I get that anxiety again and again and again, and it's just over and over and over. But in conclusion, I mean, in addition to the movies I watched Regina King's One Night in Miami.
Okay, I love Regina King.
Yeah, she directed One Night in Miami, which is the story of Malcolm X, Sam Cooke, Muhammad Ali, and Jim Brown. And the one night they spent in the Hampton House motel in Miami. Now, I visited that hotel in Miami. When I first got to Miami, I wanted to see this hotel because it was a historic hotel. It was the only place Black people could stay.
Right.
Oddly enough, how Sam Cooke got to stay at the Fontainebleau, they kind of break into that. He was a millionaire, you know. He was coin, you know. He was like the guy. And great, again, adapted from a play that was developed later about that one night. There was a play.
Right.
I forgot who wrote the play, the screenplay. And the movie was kind of wordy, like we said. Ma Rainey was very wordy and had the a lot of dialogue, because it was just 4 guys in a room.
Right, it's 4 guys in a room.
Yeah. And like about 5 years ago, I made that shirt. I made a shirt called One Night in Miami.
Did you?
I did. Yeah, it's on my Instagram.
Okay.
And it had all the guys in it, in the words, in the name, and no one got it because no one knew.
No one understood
that story. And I got to learn of that story by the 2 deaths of Sam Cooke.
Okay, I saw that. Yes.
And that's how I learned about that story, and blah, blah. Very interesting and very cool. I loved how she put it all together.
Nice.
Nice choice of characters. Nice, male thing happening. 4 guys, different walks of life. and what Malcolm X was really I mean, in this rendition of what he was trying to achieve, but had to kind of like soul search it with the guys.
Yeah.
And you had to say like, yo, your agenda can't be my agenda. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And my agenda can't be yours, but where we meet on common ground, that's where we make it happen at.
It's interesting because when we look at these characters, and now we have the luxury of 30 plus years and a Jingle Bell to dissect who they were and stuff like that. And you come to realize how authentically human they were.
Yeah.
And you then begin to realize as you walk away, I'll talk to you from a distance, that that a lot of attempts have been made to sort of make them a single narrative person. And that just wasn't the case.
Yeah.
With most things, look, the most famous picture of Malcolm X is him standing by his window holding a rifle.
Right.
By any means necessary.
Yeah.
And all the nefarious stuff that's been attributed to him.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody talks about the transformation he had to come to realize that, hey, wait a minute, that this approach is kind of flawed. Let me make an adjustment. He made an adjustment, and that sort of put him in now everybody kind of hated him.
Everyone.
Now his own people kind of went after him.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of theories as to who killed Malcolm X.
Thwarted the mission.
One big one is that his own people had a hand in it. And that's the same thing with Martin Luther King. Once Martin Luther King made a transition from civil rights to saying this isn't an issue about just black people, this is an issue about poor people throughout the country.
Right.
This isn't just black people.
Right.
This is poor people. Then you start to involve other people who are like, whoa. Now you fucking with my envelope.
Absolutely.
And stuff. And so you can't make these guys one-trick ponies. And I think that's what happens throughout the course of history. Unless you were willing to read up on your own, a lot of the information you were given was very single narrative, and you have to be willing. It's hard because you have to do that investigating on your own. Yeah, because it's not going to happen for you. So hopefully that's what families are doing. Hopefully that's what people in communities are doing, and saying, hey, you're learning about Malcolm X. Well, read this book. And
good time to do it. Good time to do it now with COVID and having a lot of time with your families. But the biggest point of what you just said, and I love the way you phrase that, because people are always looking for a one pot wonder.
Yeah.
That sells it. Yeah. That's over with. I figured this out.
That's right. That's where he is. I can move on. And it just doesn't. No, nobody's like that.
Humanity is so complex. And in this one night in Miami, it does lead and end with the idea that economics is the only way for us to coexist. It has to be rooted in economics. There has to be an economy that builds and there's breakdown in the economy. Right. There is also that, but there is also, it has to have an economy that is main goal is to thrive. That you should have an economy that's geared to thrive. Your people, my people, poor people, young people. There should be an economy for every genre of people, and there should be a lane that's available to them. When you reach the point where there's no more lane for you,
I see what you're saying. Okay.
You're in a dead zone. Like you're in a zone that there is no like Jim Brown in the story. And sorry to break this up for you, but he said one dope line to Malcolm X: "You don't have a job, brother. Like you don't have no source of income. We're all millionaires. We're thousandaires, millionaires. We make money because we." And he's like, "Yeah, but you do it for the man. You do it for the." He's like, "Yeah, but look what we do with it. We take it. We build. We." And he's trying to say, no. And he's like, wait, but look at Sam Cooke, made $200 million and he's built schools. He's done this. He signed Bobby Womack. He signed this. He's going to create his own fucking label. He's going to do all this good with it.
What did Jay-Z say? I got rich and gave back. That's the win-win.
That's the win-win.
And we've had this argument throughout, like ever since the end of the Civil War.
Yeah.
Like, okay, what should we do?
Right.
And you had people on the W.B. Du Bois side who were basically saying we need to get political power you know, he had his concept of the talented 10th, and that should be sort of like the guide as to which we dictate, you know, excellence and things like that. And you had the Booker T. Washington side who would say, no, get a job, get a skill, do something that put yourself in a position where people cannot deny the fact that you're talented, and they will give you money for it.
Right.
And that money you can build stuff for it. None of those are wrong.
Right.
But I think what happens is that we separate it. We don't think that those two things can exist together.
Okay,
you know?
good, yeah.
Because that's one thing that we've done throughout the course. You know, we're always picking somebody. So, yo, MJ or LeBron.
Yeah,
you know, yo, Malcolm or Martin. You know, Muhammad Ali or Joe Frazier. And we just fail to accept, no, it's all excellence. It's all great. It's all good stuff.
Yeah.
You know,
especially the stuff that happened already. Like, why are we doing this? Like,
right.
Like we get these memes now, and I hate the fact that our lives are run by memes, and people's emotions are being taunted and
stuff
and tugged on.
Buttons are pushed.
Yeah. One has to go. You know, this is the fucking one that I can't. One has to go. A pork chop, a chicken sandwich, or whatever. Okay.
Yeah, you can only choose 3 MCs. Which, you know, I'm like, these all dudes are dope.
I would love
and sometimes you play, but then you realize
I want to listen to some Etta James at some point.
Yeah.
You know, and I want to listen to fucking, you know, MF Doom. You know, I want it all.
Yes.
I want it all.
Yes.
I want all the smoke. I want to have my moments when I want my moments, and I don't need you to dictate that for me.
Yes.
Thank you for your opinion. I'm sorry, I don't need it. And that's just where we got to live. We all have to agree to disagree or not agree at all, but come together for the things that require coming together.
Yes.
And that's how
that was very well put, man.
Well, you know, I have my moments, and I'm starting to learn how to drink your little whiskey and bourbon.
I got something for you. But yes,
okay.
I do. I will.
All right.
I forgot to bring you. I got a couple bottles of vodka at the house that we don't drink, and I was gonna bring it over because I know you're a vodka guy.
I'm not a vodka guy. I'm a Tito's guy.
Oh, excuse me.
I don't like all vodkas.
You don't like vodkas?
No, some of them.
I like Tito's.
Well,
you prefer Tito's over
corn vodka. Okay. I don't like potato vodkas.
Okay.
I don't like wheat vodkas. I don't know. You know.
I don't know.
Well, just like rye and
no. I get that, but I don't know. I don't know that between vodkas.
I know. I don't search it. I don't like.
I got you.
When you find out, you get a good taste, and then
that's it.
Oh, it's rye. Oh, I don't.
That's your sweet spot.
Yeah, I don't do rye. Yeah. So yeah. Good point. And you know what? We as humanity have to find out a way to enjoy more of each other.
Yeah.
We have to find a way to enjoy, you know, the divisiveness that's happening throughout what we're watching play out.
It's getting
it's getting nutty.
It's getting nutty. And like we said yesterday, I don't think this is going to end well. This is not like, this is going to be one of those things where like, it's going to be better.
Yeah.
Like 3-4 years from now, we're going to look back at this time and say, yeah, that was kind of goofy, but we're kind of going to go through this shit. So
I'm really starting to realize that this is the moment I'm going to say, where were you when this happened? You know?
Yeah. How'd you get through that?
Yeah.
There's speaking of meme, there's a little cartoon going around where it says, hey dad, how'd you get through COVID? And the dad said, cigars and a shit ton of whiskey, kid.
Damn. Yeah, that sums it up. I mean, that is pretty much how, you know, most of us are coping with this, and sadly enough.
And what's amazing to me is that, okay, so Trump won the election, 2016.
Yeah.
People who didn't like that acted a certain way. We all said, hey, knock it off.
Right.
You know, this is, you know, I understand you're upset and you have some valid reasons to be upset.
Yeah.
But that's not the way we should progress forward.
Yeah.
We should progress in a way that sort of like preserves everybody's humanity. Let's work with what we can work with. Let's make sure we know what we're talking about. So that because regardless of what they are, we're still countrymen and we have to treat each other with respect. Right.
Yeah.
Now those people don't like the result of something and they're going to do the same shit. It's like, wait a minute. Are we all just fucking nuts?
Yeah, it's 50 and Ja Rule all over again.
It's like
you singing in songs. I'm gonna sing better than you. I mean, you know, and I totally get that point, and I think, you know, everyone's the perfect storm is kind of the way it's been said so many times with social injustice, things boiling pointing, country at a boiling point.
And we got this fucking virus which kept everybody home, and people like what you said a few weeks ago, like people weren't working, people like it threw everybody's map off.
Yeah,
everybody no longer, people had,
well, you weren't in the rat race anymore.
You weren't in the race anymore.
You weren't in the program motion of go to work, get the
you stop, and you looked
and you go, wait, lift my head up, and we found out that the village was only wait a minute, you guys are out here doing this, all of that. It's exhausting.
Yes, it is exhausting.
It's exhausting on reality, and I think we're bending. We're at the point now. What I'm afraid of is that we're bending reality. We're bending it so far that we're curving it to make it
fit what we want,
narrative, instead of
rather than the other way around. It should be the other way around.
Reality should be real, and we should be
we should be the ones have to make adjustments to things.
Right.
The world shouldn't have to adjust because I can't handle certain things. True. No, you're exactly right. Yeah. And like Van Jones said, look, we're not going to take weights at the gym because you can't lift them.
Right.
Right. That's not how that shit works.
Right. That's a good analogy. I didn't hear that one. When did he say that?
This was a couple months ago when he was, because he kind of like made this flip. He was always criticized for being a very, very
emotional,
being a very, very leftist guy, and excused a lot of shit. But then he started focusing on like the behavior of some people who, like the snowflake culture and stuff like that. And he said, look, I disagree with a lot of people, but I don't demand that they act a certain way. I either participate in it or I don't. And then he said, I'm not going to ask the gym to take the weights out because I can't lift it. No, my goal should be to try to get to that point.
Right.
So that I can lift it.
Or don't go at all.
Or don't go.
Don't go. Yeah. It's true. And I think, we argue that point a lot here in the house, and my comment is always, I'm just not cool with the hypocrisy. And we had that on one of our episodes. If you can't govern it for all, you can't govern it for none.
Yes.
You should not. If it doesn't work for everyone, scratch it off and say, we can't touch this because this doesn't classify everyone. Don't say it should, like, there's no way possible that it should be, hey, you make 75,000. Okay, you can go. You can. You're allowed to walk this way.
Right.
Guys who make less than this, you can't sag your pants.
Right.
Okay. The hypocrisy comes from the hip hop world too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I grew up tough, rugged, and raw, and the hood, but I'm white. I don't get to.
Right.
That's a hypocrisy at the highest form.
Right. I don't get to talk about that.
I don't get to talk about the struggle. I was on welfare.
It's my experience. Right.
You grew up in Catholic school.
Right.
You went to private school. So these are the comments like people have against guys like Dean Dash and all this stuff. Like, you were well off, bro. Like you came from Harlem. You didn't have to hustle. You chose to hustle. You chose to hustle and be in that because you came up in that world. You didn't grow up, porks and beans.
Right.
Pork and beans was like a 5-course meal.
Pork and beans was a delicacy.
That was delicacy. If you had real
for the weekend
hot dog in there, I mean, depending on the brand of hot dog you had in there, if you had that, Ballpark was a big Oscar Mayer or whatever else, but you got a no-frill hot dog in there, you're gonna cover it up, But I think people just have this, monolithic thinking that we should be all okay and it's someone else's fault and the blame game.
It's someone else's fault, and it's sort of like it's like I got to put a flag in it because it's mine. So that struggle is mine. So you, person who looks a little different than me and supposedly has a different background than me, there's no way that you can share that struggle with me. Like a lot of people who criticized Jordan Peterson automatically called him a person of privilege.
Yeah.
Not realizing his background, that he was very much a the Canadian guy, very much a lower came from a lower working class income family, whose like life was, he was going to be a longshoreman. That's what it was. That's what you're going to do when you leave there. And he
smells like fish.
Right. Exactly. And he did something, and that's what he grew up in the I think in northern Alberta, Canada.
Okay.
And so which was rough. And he did something different. So if he's not allowed to, just like you said, if he's not allowed to claim that,
Yeah.
If you're not gonna let him claim that, well, then why should we let you claim yours?
Yeah, you're 100% right, and that's a good fact. There's always been throughout history. I mean, we see this over and over. The people that have just tried to like warn humanity, or just like break things down. And I think people are just very natural. Like today, I don't feel like agreeing with you. Like today, I'm in a mood. So
I'm in a mood.
Yeah, and so trying to coach crazy, or trying to coach people, it's just never gonna work. Like there's no one person that can do this,
Right.
And again, you mentioned this a lot. If Jesus himself came down and said, "You guys are doing this shit
You're
wrong.
right. I didn't say any of this.
All of this stuff is wrong." What would happen? Would you? Oh, I'm sorry. We
Right.
fucked up. Well, you're not going to change it. Right. You're not going to automatically become the new. And who? Then you'd say he's not real. He's that's not
exactly
really
yeah.
Jesus. He's faking it. This guy came out of the sky, and And I really think there's a big culture of people waiting for this sound to come out of the sky and say, "Don't do this."
Right.
Yeah. Do not touch the pickles.
I thought of this one day, and like if we actually got a chance to meet God, and you said, "Hey, God, look, I think we screwed things up, with the way you made out the world.
Yeah,
let me break it down for you. Just we kind of like created these classes of people.
Yeah,
in which the Ashkenazi Jews and Asians tend to be the most intelligent. Europeans tend to be the most industrious, and we rely on the other ethnicities for
labor,
usually manual labor.
Yeah.
They're much more. They have much more physical prowess and stuff. And it's just, and we've guided everything this way. We've guided economics through this way and stuff. And it's just wrong. Can you like help us out? And what if you were to go, no, that's pretty much how that's how I did it.
How it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much how it goes.
That's pretty. Yeah. Those people were smarter. These other people knew how to manufacture businesses and stuff. And these people were the That's good. That's good.
Carry on.
That's what you guys are doing, right?
Carry on, kids. I know. I mean, I think we've fucked. We're fucked. We've led so much rested so much of responsibility on someone else.
Yeah.
Like we can't blame anyone anymore.
No,
there's no
you got to
more.
start. You got to start with yourself.
You guys take some ownership. Take some like, man, we fucked up. We did this, and how do I fix it, or what makes it better for us? What makes it better?
Well, we think that there's some like sweet spot we hit where everybody gets everything, and nobody gets to suffer, and that doesn't fucking exist.
Yeah,
I mean that's sad
to say,
that's a hard thing for people to understand, but that just like, yes, there are going to be people who are better at it than you. So
yeah,
you are not. So now when you say, because if you heard our new president, Mr. Joe Biden, he said he's going to guarantee $15 an hour.
Yes, I saw
federally.
That. Yep.
That the trickle down after that is going to be amazing, because when we think about people getting $15 an hour, we think about, oh, okay, so McDonald's got to corp up $15 million, Amazon got to corp up $15 million, Citibank, Citicorp, all the big companies got to pork up $15 an hour. Fantastic, that's great. Well, you haven't considered that hardware store down the corner. The guy that might come home with maybe $190,000 a year after doing his business. Well, if he hires somebody at $15 an hour,
wow.
If he hires somebody at $15 an hour, well, you pretty much putting that person out of business.
Yeah, he can't function.
The pizza shop that wants to hire a delivery driver,
right?
If they got to give them $15 an hour, well, that's a delivery driver, that's a counter person, that's a person that's coming to clean up and stuff like that. And so, I just think we're looking at the package. We're not willing to like open up and say, okay, well, now I got all the pieces. How do I put this shit together? Because it's hard to do. So there's a lot of pieces, and I don't think we're looking further enough down the line.
Well, my comment to that is always going to be everything we do as a society has a duality,
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So if you change minimum wage, you also have to change the dual part of that.
Right.
So real estate, you have to have something to complete that.
Right.
So real estate should be fair market across the board per square foot. There should be a federal rate for square foot for rentals.
Well, then now you got the government playing with that. And shit.
I know, but you got to have two of everything, just like we did at your house, right? When we moved, had you have not done it duality where two people can pick up a piece of wood, we'd have one guy standing around going, okay, I don't know what to do.
Right.
I'll make myself useful and meander, when he wasn't useful at all. But two make things, mathematical equations are plus and minus. They equal. You have to do it reverse, forward and reverse, and it works. It proves it works. So my comment to that would be, if you're gonna do something like that, you mandate, wages. There should be some sort of protection on the opposite side of it. There should be a flip and a flop to that. I don't know what it is.
Right.
I mean, economists would have to figure this out, but I think it's somewhere in the range of like real estate or taxes should not be X unless this is that. It should have some sort of a rolling consequences because there's no way this inflation can continue.
No, you can't. No.
And I was telling my father-in-law, I was taking him to the hospital. He had surgery last week, and riding in the car, and we were just talking. We're talking those little topics and stuff like that. And I think the point came up to be where we were discussing. I visited China, factory visit years ago, and stuff like that. And when I went to the general manager of the factory, had dinner at his house. He cooked. We invited me to his house. I was staying in a hotel, but he said, "No, come over to the family. Come over." And people have this warped sense of China or any place that they've never been physically. They just think what they see on TV. This guy is a factory manager. He makes equivalent to us. This is important. He made $500 a month. A month. I get to this guy's house. He had a beautiful house, 3-story. A lot of people in the house. I will say they had a lot of family involved. They had a lot of rooms and stuff like that. But he had a 3-car garage. He had the craziest car that we don't even have here. Like he had a Mercedes. He had 3 or 4 cars. He's a true religion fanatic. I don't know what the science is behind that. Chinese guys, I don't know. Maybe makes them. I don't know. I don't know. But he had every gadget, all the shit, all the flat screens, this and that. And he's like, I make equivalent to your US $500 a month, 30 days. Works his ass off, 12 hours a day.
Okay. Feeds
his family. They're not hungry. They're not starving. They're not hungry. And he was like, he said, a soda, and this was 10 years ago, by the way, or maybe 8 or 9 years ago. And he says, but here a soda is 10 cents. A can of Coke, is 10 cents. And, I'm like, what? Like 10 cents, like little our 10 cents is you buy a soda. So there's the inflation. It shows you how many times it gets stepped on and the increase.
Well, but then what you're doing is you're not acknowledging the fact that China in itself does not have a free market. So that China does not allow for competition of other things.
Yes, it's a communist country.
That's 10 cents because the government says, hey, Coke can come here and we'll only sell it for.
I know, but it shows it's possible. It shows the possibility for the amount of people. They have more people than us. Population wise, they don't have a homeless situation like we have,
Okay, but would you trade that then? So
good question.
Would you trade that for, because that's the antithesis of what we are. We have the choice you have the choice for whatever religion you want. And in China, you choose the wrong religion. Well, they're putting you on a train and you're going somewhere.
I get it.
So it's not just the final number.
Right.
It's what comes to build that final number. $500 means something because nobody else has $500.
Yes.
And nobody else can go out and make $500. I understand the point you're making.
Yeah.
But I think what we have to remember is that if we're going to compare, we have to kind of like compare ourselves with other Western capitalist nations who don't allow the
100%.
the companies to sort of like dip in the sauce.
100%. I get it. And you can have billionaires, and you have the both. You have the best of both worlds where they don't have
right.
That. And
but I do see your point. How other shit determines something else.
All I'm saying is possible.
It's possible.
It's possible to live, and they're not, wanting for they only want things that they see because we see it and we have it, and they go, oh wow, that's why their YouTube is restricted.
Right.
That's why their movies are restricted. They took DVDs out my bag. They took movies. They took Die Hard. I had Die Hard. I'm a Die Hard fan, and I'm like, dude, I'm gonna be here for a week.
Dude, Die Hard.
Yeah,
it's Die Hard. It's the greatest Christmas movie.
It's a Christmas movie. And they were like, Die Hard is not a fucking Christmas
Die
movie.
Hard is a Christmas movie. We made a Christmas list, me and my wife. And that's the biggest
debate
of Die Hard.
Is it
She's like, Die Hard's not a Christmas movie. I'm like, Die Hard's a Christmas movie.
It is a Christmas movie.
Die Hard is a Christmas movie. And another Christmas movie. Oh, what was the other one that I said was a Christmas movie?
I just watched something and I said, I can't believe this is a Christmas movie.
You know what? You could say Lethal Weapon's a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
Because that happens at Christmas time.
Happens at Christmas time. Yes, it does. Christmas in LA.
Christmas in LA.
Yeah.
And then the scene when like Mr. Joshua comes in, shoots down the Christmas tree. God damn it, it's Christmas!
I love Mr. Joshua, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Gary
Busey
and his kids. Yeah, he's got his son. Son was an Enemy of the State. So a lot of cool movies.
His son is like a chiseled jawed, just like stereotypical alpha male.
His
and
son,
Gary Busey just look like, if I saw Gary Busey, I'm scared.
Yeah.
Like if he's walking down the street, I'm like, fuck.
You blonde head fucking guy just jumping. Gary Busey. Oh man. So yeah, man, I think there's a lot that humanity can learn. We just got to be willing to I think our biggest challenge, and I think in summary of all this, I think what we're saying is the same thing, is we just have to learn how to coexist and fix shit. Like fix things.
We gotta be willing to fix it. Yes, you're right.
We have to be willing to fix it.
And everybody's gotta be at the table.
Yeah. We can't just blame. We can't just point fingers and say, this is what, and in all fairness and tribute to, this is a Martin Luther King weekend. Like I said on when I was spinning last night, it's not just a day off.
Yeah.
It's something that you can reflect on.
Yeah.
And there's proof, there's evidence of the mission. He wasn't perfect. And so when you see people jump on but he cheated on his wife and he did this and because unfortunately he's bound by a human.
He's a human.
He's in a Edgar suit. I mean, a human suit. He's wearing a costume. It's called a human suit. But yeah, man, get out there and kind of reflect. And there's no timeline or monthly limitation on education, right?
No, there's
learning
not.
And reading a book about someone.
There is none. And I think we should start doing this by just eliminating what's going to happen in a couple of weeks when everybody's going to start doing shit for Black History Month.
Right.
And I think we need to knock that off.
God,
I think we just need to realize, hey, look, Black history is American history.
Correct.
And you do not need permission
28 days
to acknowledge a certain portion of our history.
Correct.
We should all do it. And I think the more we do it, the more other people will look at it, and the more other people will begin to realize that, hey, this is a big part. Well, I shouldn't say other people. Fuck them. Everybody. It ain't about them.
Right.
It's history.
Mm-hmm.
It happened already. So
I am interested in how the history will be told to our children.
Yeah.
In schools.
Yeah.
And throughout, because this can get spun a weird way, and I can imagine if I'm fortunate enough to be here, even 20 years later, at 70-ish, saying, well, I remember when this first came out and it's not what they say now. It's this, that. And
Yeah.
I can only imagine and I think Martin Luther King would be 100 now.
Good question. I don't know.
I think he would be 100 right now. This is his
2021.
2021. I think I saw somewhere, and I could be wrong.
1921.
I could be just repeating something stupid.
Okay.
That happens, and I don't want to ask that bitch over there, Alexa.
Well, we have the same. We comment about this with 9/11. Like there's a batch of people now who are on the verge of adulthood who don't know 9/11, like who weren't around for 9/11.
It's
like who didn't see it, right? It's history. It's in a book.
It's in a book.
It's in books. And so somebody's telling that story,
Mm.
and somebody's going to tell that story, and then somebody's going to tell the anti-stories. Oh, okay, well that's what they put in the book. This is the other thing. That's what we're gonna. So that's how you get. Damn, yeah,
Was it? That's 15 years now. I mean, that's somewhere 15, 16 years now. It's
91, right?
2001.
2001. Yeah.
2001. So
91. What the fuck?
19 years actually. Fuck. Boy, time is flying, and
Time
that's for
flies.
sure.
It don't stop. That's
It
the
does
only.
not stop.
Time's the only winner.
Yeah, time's
Time's the only winner.
Yeah.
Time's like, yo, you fuckers can do whatever y'all want. I know I'm gonna be here. So whatever. Go ahead.
But I know that we'll be here for the next episode. So, thank y'all for joining us, man. Thank us for going down that journey with us.
Yes.
We're at 120. This has been great.
This has been a lot of fun.
It's been a lot of fun, and it's not over yet.
It ain't over, like Teddy Riley said.
It
ain't over.
All right, party people, I think we're going to get out of here. But of course, the slogan, try to have a blessed week, but more important, be a blessing to someone else.
Well, fuck them.
Peace.